Let's meditate. Today I may talk about what the meditation is, samadhi is, and why it may be beneficial, especially for certain people. But I realized that since the samadhi is basically the root of how we can be creative, awakening being one. But if we are just focused on being creative, well, maybe you can call it that's a little different dimension than the awakening. But since I see the analogy is similar, being conscious of unconscious, not just staying in the conscious mind dimension, but unconscious in our body and the root of who we are, to realize that is very important because that's where you came from and that's how we develop the brain, but how to use it. If we detach ourselves from the root, it's like a machine running on its own without the living being considered as important as the root of our existence. I don't know what I said makes sense or not. But nevertheless, one angle I can talk about and maybe meaningful is that since the mechanism of creative thought ideas is similar in a way, to connect to the unconscious, to become conscious, come up with ideas, like a dream, but in a manner that may make our life much more interesting and better, lively. I see different angle to look at this meditation, which is if I think about few people, let's pick the names for the sake of our discussion. I don't know why Warren Buffett comes up, or Bill Gates, or even Elon Musk, Picasso, Bach, and the sportsman who plays, I don't know what game, any tennis or even spearfishing, going down deep into the ocean, any of those guys have the sense of samadhi without knowing the state called as samadhi. Why is it so? Because they are passionate about what they do, like a kids chasing. And when they chase, they hit the wall and then they try to break through, and in that process of breaking through, they use up all what they've got to the level they cannot think much more. And the master being a master, they keep breaking through all those barriers than other people, let's call it, so that they are seen as masters in their work or whatever they do. Again, it could be management, company, investor, sportsman, writer, musician, composer, painter, any of those. Because they are already at the cutting edge, so all they can do is to go further, deeper, externally exploring, but internally exploring to make the most of what they've got. So mind goes empty into samadhi. And typically they are lively, tap dancing to go to work. That's Warren Buffett says. Jeff Bezos said something similar. Elon Musk said nobody wants to be like him because he thinks so hard. It's painful. But he's creative to go through the pain. Anyone who mastered something has the passion. I went through this cycle. For us to be the master is to have passion first. And let me think through what was the sixth element. Metsui is passion, and then challenge, chosen in Japanese, and then go beyond the conventional wisdom, that's joshiki in Japanese, and then get to this satori, or awakening. They go through satori and back to the passion and challenges and go beyond the conventional wisdom, which is connecting to the root of who we are, to come up with more ideas, to win the Nobel Prize, or writing Pulitzer Award, or champion of this field or that, and the master of investment, writing, anything. So they get into samadhi. So, but those are the exceptional people, but they have that sense of samadhi without them talking anything about samadhi. That's my view. So let's say if that's understood, what about me? What about you? Each lives in its own mini universe. You can relate to those if you are in certain field of any of those I talked about, and then aspire to be like those masters. That's fine. Or within a company, there may be a leader or politician as well that you want to emulate or learn skills. But if you think about the distribution of people, like a normal distribution, most likely the top of the mountain or the distribution, Six Sigma, whatever you call it, is 0.3% or whatever, only small number. And the large number of people, even this IQ or EQ, whatever you call it, has a distribution, I believe, in the normal distribution, so that there's always center, medium, and then there's those who may be lower end of the spectrum or distribution. What does that mean? Like I said, each one has its own universe, given the skill to excel anything. So it's your choice. Some may be focused in one, devote his life. Others may be like me, I'm not sure. I'm curious about why people behave, or I behave, why. That kind of a question has been the driving force of in me going to Zen and meditation. Or make all beings be happy. That might be the mission or the target. So given the mini universe each is operating, and within that universe there's customers and suppliers, connection, references, all of that. So whether you're at the top end or middle or lower end, by the way, I was talking about Chandra, I cannot really pronounce his name, the idiot or retarded person, ignorant person has bliss, attain enlightenment. So whatever the mini universe you operate, you can be into samadhi with some level of interest, and therefore the endurance, 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. To find that moment of awakening and keep chasing that. That drives them, just like there are various species we have. We can have mini species, or the mini company in the case of the company organization or organization. So the term samadhi, therefore, is just a way of reaching out the potential we have within, no matter what level or occupation or the interest you have. But there are certain mechanisms, like mentioned the Shiva Samadhi Panya, similar to Plan, Do, Check, Act, or Check, Act, Plan, Do, CAPD. Just like kids trying and exploring and making a mistake or failure, but coming back 7 times, falling down, he picks up and himself 8th time and keep on moving. That's how they grow. That's how the species grow. Mini species grow. And there may be a top of that species in certain category. And there are many people around to learn and help each other as if certain species gonna grow using the leader as a reference. But essentially, what I see, I call it the mechanism, but the fact that we face difficulty and to go through that difficulty is the nature of our life. I say the life is the process of problem solving, no matter what the problem is. The subjectivity and objectivity, you look at yourself what you can, and you can relate to others, but at the end, you are one entity going through this process to make the most of what you've got, relating to others around you, and they may change, and you change, navigating your life. So it's like a tree growing, and if you are the cherry tree, you don't want to be a pine tree. Maybe you can try a little bit, because so many species are developed for the unknown reason, but it's part of us. So there's a leader, there's a follower, and the follower becomes the leader for the next generation, living in his mini universe, to excel what he does, enlightened, have a good relationship within himself, but with others, mini universe, the setting you can choose. So, long story I mentioned, but it's just a way of overview and related to the process of our growth with enlightenment, awakening, idea generation, or skill development, utilizing everyone, utilizing the best of what they've got to come out proceeding to keep solve problem and share that with others, because everybody else, you, customers and suppliers, to benefit to each other. You may actually fight each other too for the resources, but that's what makes this life what it is. So, whatever the talent, if we realize the mini universe customers and suppliers and the community you are relating to, or more on your own to make the best of utilizing your resources, the process of Sila Samadhi Panya, right conduct, calm and quiet mind, come up with wisdom, and continue navigating your life is how we are built. And our job is cut the delusion, be enlightened, come up with new idea, new way of managing ourselves. Be accountable, having ownership to make the most, and move on. By sitting meditation together, we may confirm such a basic framework and keep moving forward, whichever the direction as your heart desire, but not blindly using all the references externally and connecting to the root of who you are. Remember, there's me and a mini me, and a mini me. They all trying to do their best. So that let's not block, not to be siloed. Make the most without creating much barrier within and without no ego. So use your brain but at the same time listen to your heart and live with your mission. That's what I said in the book, Results from the Heart. Let's keep working. Have fun. May all beings be happy. Good night.